You're watching Notepad. I'm your host, Ibrahim Sani. This week is a week running up to Budget 2022. And of course, we still need to take a look into the conversations surrounding businesses, particularly SMEs. We know that the digitalization plan of the government, the 12th Malaysian plan as well, so all of them are giving a greater focus towards how businesses can digitize themselves. More so now because of the post-pandemic scenario requiring a lot of businesses to really adapt and try to evolve their businesses to be a little bit more nimble and a little bit more connected. But the question now is, how do they do that? What are the challenges that lie ahead? These are the kind of conversations that we will be carrying forward the next few days leading up to the budget, trying to understand this and more. Joining us for this evening is Kevin Fitzgerald, the Managing Director of Xero Asia. Kevin, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Fantastic. Can you just give an overview of what Xero does before we jump to the crux of the matter right now?
Thank you very much. Yes, Xero was founded in New Zealand over 15 years ago, is listed in Australia, and we reported at our last results that we have over 2.7 million SMEs use the platform. We focus on bringing businesses into the cloud to help them with workflow and obviously share with them how to take advantage of moving to cloud.
Because of this, there's a lot of movement into Southeast Asia. Tell us more about the kind of work that you plan to do in Singapore, in Malaysia, elsewhere in this region.
Well, we've been in the region for just over 4 years now, and really our approach is education. And I think people can easily fall into the trap that if technology is available, it's easy to implement, easy to use, and easy to see the benefits from. But we have a different style, and really we see the opportunity for us to educate our customers on how best to use the platform. So it's not just a case of adopting and moving on, and we create a relationship with them, i.e. the SMEs, through accountants and bookkeepers all around the region. And really they become our support partners to help ensure that they can see an advantage in moving their clients to cloud, but also they are the ones moving the clients to cloud and teaching them how to best use Xero.
What does that mean? Does that mean you get into the client's offices and try to guide them, handhold them, so to speak, or it's more of here's the manual, make do with it. If anything, call us. Which approach are you using?
I wish we could actually physically go into offices at the moment, but we can't. And what we historically would do is, yes, we would go into the offices of the accounting firms, the bookkeeping firms, and teach their staff how best to use Xero. And how we do that is we hire accountants into our teams. So it's accountants training accountants on how best to use the platform, because we do recognize that there's a lot of accounting platforms around the region that are trying to sell directly to SMEs, but the SME needs support. They need somebody else in their corner who's there to help them understand what's going to happen when I adopt this technology, how can I best take advantage of it, and what else can I do, what other technology is out there that I can get for my business.
Tell us a little bit more about the experiences that you've had so far, the kind of businesses that you had to deal with. What unique challenges do each of these businesses operating in these various sectors, the kind of uniqueness that you had to overcome to help them go through with this?
Really, I think because of the low level of cloud accounting adoption in Southeast Asia, when I came up just over 4 years ago, a lot of people had fear around security of data. They're very protective of their business, and rightly so. So there was a lot of questions over what does it mean to, where is the cloud? Where is my data stored? How can you protect me and my business? And that took us some time to showcase to our potential customers that security is at the heart of everything that we do. Our business itself is 100% cloud. So we must ensure that we have the best security available to protect our customers' data.
But what I'm trying to get at is the kind of businesses that you have to deal with. Is it education? Is it trading? What businesses that you can share with us that have been part of this program?
Actually, the businesses that adopt Xero are wide ranging. It's more around our size. Like if they're a small or medium business, we really see them adopting Xero because it's a platform that's somewhat customizable by using our ecosystem partners. So let me give you an example. If you're an F&B, of which Xero is a very popular system for that industry, you need an inventory management software and most likely a point of sale, a way to collect payments. And we don't specialize in building that ourselves, but we partner with the best in Malaysia and in Southeast Asia who would do so. And the system seamlessly connect, just like you would download an app onto your phone. You can download an app to connect to Xero for your business and give you the power of someone else's speciality.
Okay. Other than F&B?
Oh, it covers everything. I would say the most complex businesses like manufacturing that have multi-warehouses are probably the ones that don't use Xero, but everywhere else like creative, advertising, retail, professional services, you name it, we've got such a wide range of businesses that use Xero.
The idea here is also trying to understand the hesitancy for SMEs to adopt cloud technology. This has always been the case prior to the pandemic, but after the pandemic, it seems like businesses are a little bit more open or more receptive to this idea. And many businesses, the businesses that I spoke to at least, have gone on this journey. However, there are still some that is holding out. Could you share with us some of your experiences in trying to address the concerns of businesses holding out from digitizing their businesses?
Yeah, I think the concerns is more so of a lack of understanding of what's possible. So the businesses that have moved across to Xero and cloud accounting now understand that to make critical decisions in your business, you need data, and also you need really, really strong cash flow analysis. And with the advent of COVID, it meant that everybody was scrambling to understand what was happening, not only in the world, but in their business environment. And our customers that are using Xero are on top of real-time information in their business that can help them be, I guess, sustain through COVID, but also set themselves up for success in the future. Whereas when we speak to businesses who have not adopted, they're still scrambling, and they're actually in a mindset of, I would say, short term and maybe a little bit fearful about the future of their business. And when you have the right data, when you understand what's actually happening in your business, it can bring back a lot of confidence and it can bring back a lot of forward planning past the next 30, 60, 90 days, which is what a lot of desktop businesses are really stuck in at the moment.
All right. There's also that foundation of how the kind of businesses have moved on. The issue here is on the ubiquitous nature of your proposition. There's a lot of competition out there. How do you stay competitive and try to be the, I guess, preferred solution for SMEs to opt for, considering that there's so many players out there right now offering the things that you guys are offering, or at least similar?
It's a real challenge, and I think where we tend to win against some of the competition is having the resources, especially for security and data protection. A lot of businesses, 9 out of 10, would decide on Xero because they recognize that the newer cloud accounting platforms that are probably startups themselves, and respectfully we treat them as competitive, do not have the security protocols on their platform to protect the customer. And I think over the last 15 years, we've invested probably $5 to $6 billion USD in building out feature sets and capability in Xero with AI and machine learning to ensure that there's even more power being delivered into the Xero platform. As an example, in the last couple of months, we have made over 100 different releases into the platform versus competitors who probably do 1 or 2 in a quarter. And that's really our consistent focus on making sure that the Xero platform is even more powerful than people expect.
Data security seems to be the main issue right now. You did mention or alluded to that earlier. However, there's a news report that shows that there were some system issues for your customers in New Zealand. I'm pretty sure you got that resolved, but at the same time, these problems continue to occur, not just in your company, but cloud companies in general. How do you talk to your clients or assuage them that these are, I guess, an issue that will continue to be around, but at the same time, it is going to be resolved?
I think it's taken perspective. Okay, so when you think about the challenges that we faced with some downtime, we still have above industry uptime, which is 99.9% of the time you can still log in and use Xero. So I think it's people understanding that yes, these moments in time happen where the system might not be accessible for a really short period of time. But what we guarantee is that there is absolutely no data loss. There is no changes to the data that's housed in Xero for that client. And that gives them the understanding that, okay, these things happen sometimes with technology. And as you said, it's not just Xero, it's all large technology companies globally have these moments in time where there is a small outage. But the good thing is that we've got protection in our platform to ensure that nobody is losing any data.
Right, we'll go for a short break. When we come back, we'll discuss a little bit more with Kevin Fitzgerald of Xero Asia. Thanks for staying on with us. I have with me on the line Kevin Fitzgerald, MD of Xero Asia. We're talking about cloud computing, cloud accounting specifically, and for SMEs. Kevin, I'd like to zoom out a little bit more and talk a little bit more about the trends and the landscape right now. Do you feel that it's inevitable for businesses to opt for cloud as a solution? And software as a service, because the traditional way of doing things can no longer be practical. It's quite impossible for us to go back to the old ways, particularly now that we know that the pandemic is moving to an endemicity stage rather than a pandemic.
I'd be confident to say it's a foregone conclusion that the large majority, in fact, over 90% of businesses in the next 5 to 10 year period will move to cloud accounting. And the reason I believe it is they are being driven by forces around their supply chain and their customers. So it's not just their choice. So it's not like they're sitting there saying, okay, I'll make the choice to move to cloud accounting. It's really a bigger discussion around how do I set myself and my business up to be competent with technology, because my customers expect to be able to conduct business with me digitally. They expect to pay digitally. They expect to receive a digital invoice. And my supply chain and the people that I buy from are also moving very fast to cloud technology solutions. So we do see that from SMEs feeling the pressure from their business partners and customers. And I think if we step back in time and we look at the advent of mobile phones and the devices, look how far we've come since the early days of Nokia's, like they've changed immensely, and people are starting to see Xero as like the really go-to platform of choice to ensure that their business is set up for success in the future, because Xero keeps investing in the platform as well. So we keep bringing out stronger, better versions, and we always have the customer front and center of mind when we do this.
Yeah, still staying within the industry, SMEs, at least in Malaysia, a lot of them have gone out of business. The Malaysian SME Association anticipates about or projects about 400,000 out of 1.2 million small and medium-sized enterprises. Most of the micro have indeed gone out of business and would probably never come back post-pandemic. And this creates a situation of both a rather doom and gloom situation for the country, but at the same time an opportunity for new businesses to prop up and start to rethink on how they should survive and redesign how they intend to do their business. What would be some of the ideas that you can share with these kind of businesses that might start out very soon, or in fact some of them are already in the process of starting out, and try to embrace change, but at the same time trying to make their company a little bit more future-proof?
It's a very sad statistic. That's a phenomenal amount of businesses that are have struggled and have gone out of business and potentially will in the next 6 to 12 months. What we see is generally people who run businesses tend to run businesses forever. So a lot of these people who were business owners will probably not go back to working in a corporate environment or for a different boss. They want to be their own boss. And really the advice that we give them and how we work with them is, okay, this is really about bouncing back and starting fresh. Like, what's the point in going back to using old systems or desktop systems or old ways? There's such strong technology available that you could set up from day one being 100% cloud. And that's where we focus with startups especially, and give them education around, hey, what are all the things that I need to really start my business in the cloud? And as I said at the start, it's very educational led, and we're there to support these business owners as they bounce back.
All right, we'll go for one short break before we conclude our conversation with Xero Asia. Thanks for staying on with us. If you're an SME and you're doing business and you're yet on the cloud, this conversation is perhaps for you. On the line right now is Kevin Fitzgerald, the Managing Director of Xero Asia. Kevin, let's talk about the market proficiency of Xero in Malaysia. How big is your team here? Do you even need a big team here? How do you intend to solve the problems of your clients in Malaysia?
The great thing is we don't need a big team. Really, we're set up to scale. And part of that reason is we want to make sure that we can keep the cost of Xero really low for SMEs in any country that we service around the world. So at the start of the show, I talked about the accounting firms and bookkeeping firms that we work with. So we currently have over 300 accounting firms in Malaysia that are trained on Xero, that understand how to use the platform, who have also had exposure to our ecosystem of apps that connect into Xero. And they in turn go out and help their clients who are SMEs move to Xero and cloud.
There is also that peripheral services that needs to be thought about when it comes to accounting. It's not just about bookkeeping, it's also about managing finances of the company itself. Some of your competitors are integrating a possibility of a financing solution or a business loan solution for the SMEs. Do you feel that these kind of services can be done for you in Malaysia?
I do. I think it's critical that we provide services that help businesses take advantage of cash flow opportunities. And last year we made an acquisition of a business called Waddle in Australia, which is basically an opportunity for SMEs to take a loan on the invoices they raise to their customers. And invoice lending, invoice factoring has been around for many, many years, and historically has sat with a lot of the banks. So we intend to bring Waddle to Southeast Asia, and what it will mean is companies that use Xero can connect to Waddle, and Waddle will connect into the local banks or lending solutions, and they would be able to raise a invoice in Xero and be offered a loan on that invoice that will be sent to them within 24 hours. The funds will be transferred in 24 hours. So yes, it's a very popular change in the industry, and the reason for it is the amount of real-time data that sits on the Xero platform, so we can serve up the best lending opportunities for our customers.
There's also that opportunity for you to provide insurance coverage for your clients. This is again because of the transparency that you have with their bookkeeping. You know what works for them, what doesn't. Anywhere from insurance on goods, breakage, and payments, late payments coming in, or fire insurance. All these kind of possibility of protection. Do you feel that that is also a solution that you can provide to create a moat, if you will, with the solution that you're providing right now?
We're looking at everything. So like the fact that we have real-time information for a business means that there's a range of opportunities, not just insurance. So we're really spending time deep diving on what's the advantage of having this real-time information. Clearly, the obvious is cash flow. But as you mentioned, there's a lot of other opportunities, maybe around even the assets that the business holds. Could be inventory management, staff as well. Like how do we look at opportunities for a business that's got really high staff numbers? So we're thinking about everything at the moment, and we are dedicated to bringing and working with the right partners to bring those solutions to Xero users.
And final question to you is, what do you think is going to take place in the fourth quarter when it comes to SME sector, at least in Malaysia, if not Southeast Asia?
I think we still got some time to go. You know, we've been in this situation for almost 2 years, and I think there will be a lag effect. There's clearly a supply chain break in trade, and goods aren't getting delivered. And I think people's confidence needs time to rebuild as well. So we want to make sure that by showcasing opportunities and providing education that we can bring back that spark of confidence into SMEs.
Thank you very much. That was Kevin Fitzgerald, the Managing Director of Xero Asia. If you've missed any part of this show, just head on to astroawani.com. Look for Notepad over there. You can also look for Xero, Xero there as well. Until then, thanks very much for watching and goodbye.